this video, I'll tell you the difference between being a citizen of a country and an official resident of a country, and what rights these two different things give to you. The basic differences are the same around the world, but I'll be giving you examples about Spain because that's what I do on this channel and that's where I am a resident. Olé! And I'll tell you about Ireland and the UK too, because I'm a citizen of both. Fiddly-dee! Finally, I'll also tell you briefly about how to become a resident or a citizen. Ooh, very handy. Welcome to YouTooSpain. Cue the music, and why not? Let's dance! Hi, I'm Skatz. I moved to Spain recently and you can do it too. You can do it too. Which is why I started YouTooSpain, to help people like you make their dream move to this gorgeous country. Gorgeous. Now, as I said, I'm an Irish citizen. Fiddle-dee-dee again. But my wife is a UK citizen. Rule Britannia. Stop it. So I'll be explaining, in a nutshell, what that means and the difference between being a citizen and being either a temporary or permanent resident of Spain, and how your citizenship makes a difference when you're moving to a different country. Exciting! So, first of all, living in a country doesn't make you a citizen of that country. No, but having a passport for that country does. Aha! So, how do I get a passport? There are 3 ways to be a citizen and get that passport. Number 1. The first way is to be born there. So if you can arrange that, you're in. Oh, it's a baby. Number 2. Yeah, I'd better clear that up. The second way is to have a parent who was born there. Dada. Number 3. The third way is to have lived in a country for long enough to apply for what's called naturalisation. Ooh, big word. Now this is where there can be differences around the world because different countries have slightly different rules on how long you need to have lived there to begin applying, what evidence you need, how much you know about the country's history and your obligations as a citizen, whether you can speak the language, and how much you've integrated into the community. In Ireland, for example, to apply for naturalisation, you need to have lived there for 5 out of the last 6 years, and the final year of that period, you must have remained there every day and be able to prove that. Prove it! In Spain, however, the period is 10 years. And one of the 2 citizenship tests you have to go through is being able to answer questions in Spanish and have a fluent conversation with an examiner to a fairly high level. Although you can bypass this test if you can prove you studied Spanish to A2 level or above. Hola! Now, Spain is one of those Western European countries that have colonised lots of other countries in the past. So, in recognition of the heritage of their colonies, they recently made a law that says if you're a citizen of a Latin American country, for example, and you have a Spanish parent, you and your descendants are automatically entitled to Spanish citizenship. And even if you don't have a Spanish parent, you only have to have lived for 2 years in Spain before you can apply, instead of 10. And of course, you already speak Spanish, which is a big help. Unless you're from Brazil, where they speak Portuguese, but you're still entitled to apply after 2 years. Are you from Brazil? So, that's citizenship. As I said before, I'm an Irish citizen, but I still hold a UK citizenship too, because the UK and Ireland have an agreement that people can have dual citizenship. Spain, on the other hand, prefer that if you become Spanish, you relinquish your citizenship of everywhere else. Okay, but what about residency? What does that mean? Well, I'm now an official resident of Spain. Yay! Because I've gone through the process of applying for residency here. My wife has also gone through the process of applying for residency, but her process was a little bit different from mine because she's a UK citizen. If she wasn't married to a citizen of an EU country, like me, then her process would have been more difficult because since Brexit, she's classed as a third country national. National in this sense meaning basically another word for citizen. and third country nationals face greater financial requirements and criminal records checks and medical certificates and healthcare insurance than EU citizens. It sounds very complicated. For the first 5 years of living here, she's classed as a temporary resident. Then she can apply for permanent residency. Once she has that, she has almost the same rights as a Spanish citizen when she's in Spain. Almost? Almost. Note that I said when she's in Spain. Just because she's a permanent resident of an EU country, it doesn't necessarily mean that she has the same freedom of movement across the EU as a Spanish citizen or a citizen of any other EU country. So, if she wasn't married to an EU citizen, she couldn't just move to Italy or France, for example, and get a job there. Whereas I can because of my EU citizenship. And that's the biggest distinction between citizenship of an EU country and residency of one. It's all about the rights you have across the EU. I have my rights, you know. Having said that, because she's married to an EU citizen, my wife does have some more rights than if she wasn't. If she's travelling with me, for example, she has freedom of movement around the Schengen area, which is a big group of European countries. If she wasn't the spouse of an EU citizen, she would be limited to 90 days out of the last 180 days, which is the so-called 90-180 rule that I've made a couple of videos about. Subscribe to this channel and you can find them easily. Subscribe! And that, in a nutshell, is the difference between being a citizen and being a resident. But, as always, with Spanish law and EU law, it's never quite as simple and straightforward and black and white as I'm able to say in a very short and concise video like this. For example, there are different voting rights between the two. And I just heard on Facebook that a UK national who's a permanent resident of France has been told by their local Spanish embassy in France that they can move to Spain without a visa because of their residency status. That can't be right. Watch this space for an update. Shh. If you need more specific answers about any of this, ask me in the comments below and I will point you in the right direction to the official website or to an expert who knows the answers. Answers! There is a YouTooSpain.com website with articles, information and resources and much more, and there are many very helpful and hopefully entertaining videos on this YouTube channel about moving to Spain and living in Spain, so check them out. Ooh, I will! And I do a live stream on here every Saturday with experts on visas and residency and everything else to do with moving and living here, so subscribe and click on the notification bell to be the first to hear about all of that. Ting! Finally, mi amigos, you can support this channel in a small or a big way by becoming a patron on the Patreon site, or you can buy me a coffee with a small donation, and we have a merchandise page too. All of the links are in the video description below. Thanks for joining me. See you on the next video. Peace and love. Bye! Let's do the dance again. Bye!